Hello, math champions. In this video, we are going to learn how to find missing quantities using ratios, right? This is where ratios and all these concepts are used in practical life. That means, let's say there is a paint company, right? The paint that we use to paint our houses, right? Uh, the walls and the windows and things like that, right? Let's say there's a paint company, okay, and for a particular shade, for a particular shade of a color, they know that they are going to mix two colors. Let's say for a pink shade, let's say, okay, pink shade, how do we get? We get by mixing red color and the white color, right? Red and white, they're going to mix. And for a particular shade of pink, they know that they always mix, 5:7. Let's say 5:7 is what they are going to mix. This is the ratio they will mix for this particular shade of pink. They know that. And on a certain day, the personal who works in that company, that factory, he knows that he has been using he has used, let's say, 28 liters of red color. He knows he has used. Then how much white was used? How much uh, white was used? They don't know. Okay, how much white was used? They don't know. So they're going to find out that one. We are going to help him find out how much white was used. Now, if you see, we know that 5:7. That means red is 28, right? So red is 5, right? So we write here. But we don't know this part. We don't know this part. And we know from the previous video that if we could find what multiple will give me, what multiple of 5 will give me 28, I can find out this easily. But if you see here, it is not very easy, because any multiple of 5 is not 28. It's not easy, right? So how can we find out? How can we find out? Okay, so this is where the concept of ratio, like the addition of both these things as a whole, right? We'll come to know. So if 5 parts is red and 7 parts is white, then the total parts in any kind of a situation is 5 plus 7, that is 12. 5 plus 12 is and 7 is 12. Though, so we know that what is it? 5/12. Okay, 5/12 of something is 28, right? 5/12 of something is 28. Correct. So how can we find out the how much is that? That something. So 5/12 times x is 28. So we can, of course, use algebra also, and find out that this, when we use transposition, the 5/12, when it comes the other side, it gets divided. 28 divided by 5/12, which is nothing but 28 is multiplied by its reciprocal. When you have learned about the division of fractions, you would have known that the divisor becomes the reciprocal and the division becomes a multiplication, right? So this much is what is the x, right? That total amount, the total number of liters is going to be this, right? 28 times 12 by 15. You can use a calculator and find the amount. However, I'm going to keep it as it is because I like to simplify at once. Okay, but this is not our point, right? This is not our point. Means you got to know what is the thing that you're going to multiply here, right? This x that you're going to multiply, that you got to know. But that is not what we want. We want how much white color was used. White color, how much it will be used? If it is 7, then 7x will be used. 7 times x will be used. So I will take 7 times. X is nothing but 28 times 12 times 5. So I will go ahead and do a calculation at once. Like I'll use a calculator and find out the value of this. And it is going to be somewhere in decimals. It's not going to be directly like that. So some decimal number will come and that will be the total number of number of liters of white color that was used. This is how you can find out the missing quantities using ratios. I'll give you a quick recap. That means, let's take another problem. There were, in certain class, there are some 150 boys are there. Okay. And we don't know how many girls are there. We don't know how many girls are there. And but then the ratio of boys to girls is say is 5 is to 7. 5 is to 7. Okay. Now, how do we find out how many girls are there? That's the question. How many girls are there? So what can we know is the what is the multiple? What is the multiple? This 5 out of 5 plus 7 of something is 150. That means 5 parts out of the 12 parts. 5 plus 7 is 12. 5 parts out of 12 parts is 150. Means what is that number of parts? You can find out easily that it is going to be 150 divided by 5/12. Right? 5/12. That means 150 times 12 over 5. That will give you okay. So 360. Right? So give me a second. Have I made some mistake? Let me check. Give me a second. Oh, I'm right. No, that's no problem. That means the total number of students is 360, right? The total students is 360. Then you can directly use subtraction also, or you can use even like what will be the 7/12 of 360. How much will it be? Right? Because the girls are 7 parts out of 12 parts. You can use like this also. So the total number of students is 360, means 5/12 of the total is 150, right? So 7/12 of the 360, the total students are 360, that is going to be 210, right? 210. Now, if you see, you add the number of, this is the number of girls, and we know from the question it is 150 boys are there. So when you add up, you have to get 360, the total number of students that which you're getting here. Okay, this was a quick recap. And as I always say, how much ever you hear from me, that is not going to ensure or guarantee that you've learned it. Go ahead and solve some problems of this kind and become more confident about solving such problems in mathematics, in ratio topic. I'll see you in the next video where we'll talk about proportion, another very beautiful concept in mathematics. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.